Good morning, good morning, good morning, and how are you? It's good. So it's gonna be a 1-minute warm-up. Just a warm-up, let's go. Almost there. Okay, we're gonna run now, let's go. So we're gonna work out for 3 minutes, and then after we'll do a cool down. We're cooling down, let's go. See what I'm doing? That's the movement of my feet. That. I need that from you, let's go. Let's run. Let's go. Very basic today. Keep going. And 4, 3, 2, march now. Okay, that was your first workout. Let's go to the next one. Kicks now. 1. Kick and let the blood circulate on your legs. Let's go. 3 minutes workout. After that, you do a cool down. Kick. Let's go. Kick. Bring it to the knee now. Knee high. Squeeze the tummy when you do that. Let's go. Squeeze here. Go. Squeeze here. That's the part I'm working on. Let's go. Easy. Back to running now. Let's go. You need this every morning. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Go. And kick now. Kick, side kick. This side. Back. This side. Kick. Go. Lift your leg high and kick. Go. 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 And that's all you need every morning. Let's conclude now. Let's go. And let's run. Let's run. Bring in the kick now. Kick. Kick. Again. Kick. Bring it to the knee now. Knee. Knee. Last kicks. This one. And this one. This one. Let's go. And marching. Very simple what you've done today. Looks like you have not done anything, and yet it's able to work out. Let's march. Let's go. You're almost there. It's almost 5 minutes of a workout. So thank you so much for tuning in. Basic workout today, and have a blessed day. And I'm signing out. My name is Isaac Matsa.
Good morning.
Morning. How are you?
When you're trying to fix because the mic is ruining the the fashion and all that. But anyway, good morning. It feels so good to be here. It's another Rise and Thrive breakfast show. I feel like the setup of some places are a little bit too high for me. I don't know if things need to come down or what. But we have a very interesting topic for today because, as usual, we have so many things that have been piled in this particular week, and so many things have been happening. Hilarious, ridiculous, interesting, sad, emotional. I feel like it has hit the country in literally different angles, and the most recent, or the one that shook literally the whole nation, is the arrest of Dr. Kamwili. When I came across that video, it actually disturbed me for a good, I should say, like 30 minutes, because I was like studying and working on something. So when that particular thing happened, it just like, yeah, it just hit different. It felt different. Because, you know, like the particular clip I saw was where his daughter was there, like devastated, you know, and literally breaking down, and the camera was just there. I was like, okay, like just move away from her or something. That really just broke me, because it put me in a position where I was imagining if that was my dad or if that was my parent, like how heartbreaking that would have been. And then I saw another one where his relative was literally wailing as the police car truck drove off. That for me was also another breaking moment. Or maybe I'm just too emotional about these things, but like the other one is but I was so glad. Like one funny thing I noted, like when the other prisoners were entering the truck, I noticed that they were being rushed by the police, and, you know, there was that whole, you know how they treat prisoners. But when Dr. Kamwili was actually walking out and entering that truck, like nobody touched him. He was actually able to wave to the people that were outside. And I feel like I actually applaud the police for just the decency in how they handled, even as he was walking out, how he, as much as he's a prisoner, they handled him like with so much respect. You could tell that, okay, this person was once our leader, but now they're in their custody, and they're in the custody of in the correctional, they're going to a correctional facility and all that, but they still treated him with respect, with so much respect. So I feel like I had mixed feelings about it. And then there's another side of the story, and we will be having our guest later on the program, who has who has really decided to, if he's watching, he might not come if I say what I want to say, but so I'll save it for later. But we'll be having Mr. Tayali himself to just shed more light, and because now he's been painted like he is the one, and maybe he's the bad person, like he doesn't have feelings, but he will be able to explain, because remember, there are always two sides of the story. There's always two sides to the coin. Like, I know he dug up the information, brought out certain things that if he didn't say, it wouldn't have happened, and all that. Many Zambians have translated Dr. Kamwili's arrest in different forms, really. Others feel, it's political. Others feel, it's Tayali's fault. Others feel, I don't know what they feel. In that, also, the particular magistrate who was handling the case is weighs more on the other end. So it feels like, his judgment was based on politics or whatever. But I feel like he was just carrying out his job, as much as it's very sad. But till now, we don't know about the 48 houses. Who owns them, you know? So justice must prevail whenever it needs to. So I feel like we may feel bad, there may be emotions attached, but we need to begin to look beyond, you know, as much as these people are our leaders, and if they make mistakes, if I make a mistake, I'll definitely be penalized for it. So if my leader is going to make a mistake, these are people that we put in the forefront. These are people that were in government. If they do make those mistakes, I feel like nobody is above the law, and the law should take its course. I know it's painful, it's a bad, I don't even want to talk about it, but we have to talk about it, because these are things that are affecting us. We don't know the repercussions. We don't know what his forgery could have led to, or whatnot. So these are things that ought to be tackled as a nation, and there will always be misinterpretations, really. What is your take, though? It was an emotion.
You've literally exhausted everything, but it was an emotional week. There was just so much going on, and I remember seeing a statement on social media. Excuse me, on social media from his vice president and also party members saying it's gotten to a point where at this stage we just have to pray to God for rescue. When I saw that statement, and then later that afternoon, I heard that he was found guilty for 2 counts and he was sentenced to 2 years in prison. And then a day after, I saw Mal Sampa with a pack of caterpillars and a pillow. On a pillow, it was written "Nefifika Pita, stay strong, Dr. Kambwili." So seeing all that on social media, and then getting into the news, and Taali being the talk of the town, people painting him black to say, how can he be rejoicing for someone's downfall? Mixed feelings, like you said. I was emotional that one of the very vibrant and vocal political party leaders was arrested. But on the other side as well, he was arrested for his wrongdoings. And also the unity amongst other opposition political parties, sending their strong messages to the family and also to him, telling him it shall pass as well. Justice is justice, okay? If someone is in the wrong, they're in the wrong. Like they say, no one is above the law. So if this was taken and Kambwili was arrested, there was a statement that said maybe he might be lucky and be pardoned on the 24th of October, presidential pardon.
Oh wow! Like,
but then what we're looking at that, I remember the last time when we spoke about politics and elections in 2021, I'm like, politics, if I'm going to campaign, I'm going to decampaign your party. So in as much as people are saying that it's not, they're politicizing his arrest, and others are saying maybe he was put in jail now because 2021 is going to be a tough year for the political parties, different political parties.
You remember our topic?
Yeah.
I'll take our viewers back because I know there are those keen viewers that literally follow every program.
True.
Remember last week we talked about prisoners having the chance to vote. Now, look at this. I want you guys to get in the mind that I'm in and just think about things the way they are, right?
Here we go,
You take an opposition.
In prison.
Okay, you take an opposition political party president, not just any other person or party member. So you take a president and you go put him in this location where you plan on having those people there vote. Don't you think like all these months that it's going to be there, it's going to be all decampaigning? You know, I thought about it. I was like, okay, wait. Okay, being judged, like, okay, he was wrong. He's been sentenced, but like, you're sending him to a place where you're expecting people to vote for your party. How's that going to work, really?
You know, hope I'm not judged or opinion is taken to the other side. I'm just imagining Dr. Kambwili just one of these nights after having their supper, and then he just sits with the inmates.
Oh, wow. Remember that you can get in touch on the number that is scrolling on your screen. We need to hear your comments and contributions. This is your show, and we expect to hear from you. You can give us your comments, contributions, statements, whatever it is that you would love to address on this particular morning. But we're basically just discussing what is currently the current happenings in the country, what your take is, where you stand
was postponed, by the way.
A citizen. My what?
The Bill was postponed.
Yeah, like why
without
though?
proper explanation, because the vice president announced in Parliament that it will be retabled Friday, which was yesterday.
Is Bill 10 supposed to be tabled 1,000 times now?
We don't really know about that. I wish I could answer that question, Tandiwe. So now there are all these questions to why it was rescheduled to a later date. So we're yet to find out.
Okay, very interesting.
A lot has been going on this past week, I will tell you. A lot has been going on.
Yeah, but I believe that it's a declutter type of arrangement where the nation is being cleaned up, you know, from in medicine we say cephalocauda, so it's literally from the head to the toe. So we're starting from the top. This cleanup is starting from the top right to the bottom, and by the time it's reaching the bottom, it would have been
August.
Probably
2021 general election.
But I love where we are as a nation. I know there are emotions all over, but I just love where we are. I feel like we have reached a point where we are speaking out as the Zambian people. We are pointing out things that we can see. Say, okay, this is wrong. Yeah, that is wrong. Right. On some parts, I do agree with Mr. Tayali, to be honest, because like I heard something that he mentioned to say, look, if it was another person, you will pay.
True.
Okay? You will pay for what you've done. But because I said this, and explained whatever, it's now my fault. The blame should go to him as a person. It's politics at the end of the day.
True. And also, I think you have mentioned it in one of our breakfast shows to say there's a certain attachment and a certain type of treatment if you belong to a certain political party or you hold a certain position in government. Let's say, for example, the 48 hours is the fire brigade,
the fire tenders,
and all that has so many questions, but then this has been happening for quite some time, and they've ruled out. He's been charged. What about these other situations? Okay, so hence me agreeing also with your statement to say just because it's a certain person in the political industry, everyone thinks, oh, this is politicized. Okay, but like you said, the nation is being cleaned. We are waiting to see who will remain by August.
Bandit and Duo is to remain. Remember that it's 0968-675273. That is 0968-675273. That is the number that you can be able to reach us on. Remember that we are here for you. This particular show is your show, hence we need to hear what you have to say about the current happenings in the country.
True, and also tomorrow is National Day of Prayer. Are you going to fast tomorrow?
Yeah.
I won't lie. I'm not going to.
Why not?
I'll pray along, but I won't manage to fast because we are having a certain event in the family. So they'll think I'm just being that child.
You see, that's the problem that I have with certain people in particular.
Certain people, being me in particular.
This is a National Day of Prayer and Fasting.
It's not a mandatory though.
It's not mandatory,
Yeah,
but like,
so you decide.
you know, like where the Bible says that where 2 or 3 are gathered in my name, I will be in their presence. I don't know why people are giving me a shocking face, but you know, that's what the scripture tells us. So if you're gonna stand up as precious for the nation and say, look, I'm gonna fast for my fellow youth in this country, I'm gonna fast for justice to always prevail, I'm going to fast for the economy to be better. You know, you're standing in the gap of so many people, and you're going to make a difference. So I've noticed a lot of opposition political parties will say, why should I fast when things are not changing? You're not doing it for you. You are doing it for the nation. And if you're a political leader and you're out there with this motive to always say, oh, I'm not going to take part in the prayer and fasting day because things are like this in our country, I mean, that is a wrong mindset, because you need to realize that if you're vying for presidency, if you're vying to take this country to a next level, these are events that you need to take part in, because there are things that break forth on such events, you know, and you might just miss that target of being that president or sitting on that presidential seat because you refuse to partake in national events that are as important as National Day of Prayer and Fasting.
Yes, I understand what you're saying, Tunde, but I would not lie to say I am going to do the fasting. Yes, I know it's very important, and a lot of things we might not see the results now. This has been going on for 5 years. This is like the 5th one, so we might not see the results now, but eventually our prayers will be answered, because you don't know what your prayer carries. Okay, I'm encouraging each and everyone out there to actually partake in the National Day of Prayer and Fasting, and also see to it that your prayer is
answered. Does this mean that bars will be closed?
bars are usually closed during National Day of Prayer and Fasting.
And they're only open
up
at
to
18.
At 18, which is like the time that was put for bars to open. But
yeah, like the world has just gone back to its normal, right?
I think so.
Are there any health guidelines anymore? I'm seeing people just moving around.
There was a time,
And they're looking at me strange because I've gone to a public place and I'm
With a
wearing a
mask.
mask. Everyone is like, what are you trying to prove? I'm like, health, corona still exists. So why aren't you wearing your mask?
Them withheld, but there was this restaurant I went to yesterday. Me and the people I went with had the mask, but the people in front of us didn't. So this door bouncer just checks their temperature and says, mungangene, but poenda msiyeko cheya drink. And I'm like, yeah, that's what's happening. Like, we're back to the new normal and forgetting that there's coronavirus, and the numbers are actually increasing in Africa. So we should
it hits when
continue.
it hits twice. It's not gonna be good for our country. But anyway, you give us your opinions, your comments. Call us on the number 0968675273. That is 0968675273. Remember to begin to send in your contributions. As I earlier announced, that our guest for today, who will be coming on, has assured me that he's coming on the program. That is Mr. Tayali. So we're actually expecting him to show up. Our first trial didn't go so well because he said he felt so many. He said, "Oh, people think I'm a bad person and all that." So I don't want to be on any of these interviews. But second attempt went good, and we are still expecting him, hoping that
fingers crossed
he does come up, because I feel like there are certain things that only he can explain. Because I want to know, why did you start the whole thing, like the whole process? Is that the only information that you know? Because I mean, if he's gonna if you know so much, so many people can be
in most of his statements he's mentioning names and saying they're next. So when he comes to, I want to ask him, does he have a list of the people he wants to clean out? Does he have a to-do list when it comes to checking out those people that have been doing wrong and the law hasn't been doing anything about it? So
on the other side,
to hear from him,
I hope that there is safety on his end.
We have a caller.
Okay. Good morning. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
Sorry? Who are we talking to? Okay, calling from Pika.
Yes, please.
Please go ahead with your contribution, sir.
Thank you. I'm enjoying the program.
Thank you.
I just want to make one or two comments.
Go ahead.
Listen, when you hear somebody saying national prayer, this and that, it reminds me of the Pharisees and the Sadducees. By the way, the Pharisees and Sadducees were religious leaders, and they were conducting the union in the name of the Lord. And when Jesus Christ came on earth, he rejected them. He denied them. He said he did not know them. In fact, we accuse them of being people that were against true worship. They were blessing people from true worship. So it's not anybody that will come and say, no, the prayer is what that is before the Lord. My belief is that the current regime is using the name of the Lord to commit atrocities and hang on a human power. So let's not be fooling that out. Then the other thing is that you should ask yourself, Kayali, of course, why Kayali? And why is he having a crusade against his fellow opposition leader? So the only point out one thing. He's a paid guy. Why is he not doing the same for the ministers that have been found to have committed offenses and crimes? Let's not leave that the media in Zambia, I don't think about this because you have a very personal, situation. If it's in other countries, the media would have also been in the first one to investigate things. No one knew that. Because even ahead of state, about morality. Our leaders should be the last to talk about morality. Morality should be the last to talk about fighting corruption. They actually simply talk about the potential politicians that in fact unput them from power. If a politician who runs the political party has only 2-3 supporters, have you heard them being supporters? Why should be the ones that have the largest followers? It doesn't even need to be rocket scientists to realize that it is political. These guys have destroyed the public in the country. They are destroying democracy. Let's not forget about it. Charlie is hard done. And you may say you are not going for SS because of the privatization. But who did not participate in the privatization? Our president had to be. So, it is sickening, really. I'm looking forward to the time when this country has changed its policy. To get all these people that have been in public domain for far too long will be standing with the CII, this court number 4 should be made to account for the work that has brought to the country. The police is not functioning now. It's not functioning. And you sit there, I've heard the time, to come to this river, where something comes. Ladies, I know you are in a very, very constituent, and I sympathize with you. But hey, posterity will judge us. Let's keep this stuff that are destroying our country under check. We're going to leave this country. Whatever the country needs for us, so that I can see the thing. Already, we are sitting with a massive debt. Even the unborn children are already in debt. Only children lacking mother actually. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
He had so much to say.
For a second, I thought I was watching him on TV, and I'm just like, okay, I'm listening to a program. Thank you so much for your contributions and comments. We do value every caller, and we're so glad that you're actually keen on national issues and participating in that which affects our nation at large. Remember that the number that you're reaching us on is 0968 675273. That is 0968 675273. He brought out very important points. I don't know which ones you're able to pick out first.
He said a lot of things. I've even forgotten what the other thing that he mentioned that I picked out. Oh yes, I've remembered. He was talking about why Tayali, why is he the one to point out the people that are doing wrong? Why him? And
why not him?
And he mentioned, I'm just trying to pick out one of his points, and he mentioned to say, which is an accusation, to say he's being paid. Tayali is
I've
being
heard a
paid
lot of people say that. I really
this.
want Mr. Tayali to come and really tell us on this particular program, like, are you paid? Like, if you're paid, then why are you in the opposition? Like, why not join who you're supposed to be with? Who's paying you?
But you know, the thing with all this, Tandiwa, is I sue you, okay? Let's say I sue you for trespassing. Just because you belong to a certain party and I belong to the other party, it will be looked at as a political fight. But you were in the wrong. Okay, that's the angle I'm looking at all this. Yes, Dr. Chimbakambudi is a leader of a certain political party. So is Tayali. And we're headed to the 2021 general elections. But Dr. Kambudi's arrest is not from without. He was in the wrong. Forgery and uttering false information. Tayali thought, oh, okay, since no one is looking at this, let me dig out some information.
Okay, so why hasn't he taken up things like 48 houses?
Maybe he doesn't have the proof.
That's what I want to come and ask.
Maybe he doesn't have the proof for that. He's tried to dig out certain information. He doesn't have things that, you know, in court, you might say, this person came to my house. CC camera is showing his clothes. He's got the certain.
He
type of
actually will
clothes.
be here shortly. He just sent a confirmation. Beep.
This is the person that was at my house, and these are the same clothes that they're wearing. Did you see their face? No, but I have the footage that shows the clothes that they're wearing. You see this thing? You didn't see their face. So maybe we might have all these things pointing out to say 48 houses where they pay the people that are staying in the houses, the names that pop up. Why did you follow those names? He feels maybe he doesn't have the proper proof. But with these other cases, like the uttering of false information and forgery, he had the proof, and he provided the proof to the court, and they found him guilty.
You know, there have been different headlines flying left, right,
And
center,
center.
or celebration. Like, did he throw a party? Like, how is he celebrating, really?
He's been called the new kid on the block.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
New kid of the block.
New kid on the block. You know what a new kid on the block? Like, let's
No.
say you move to this new neighborhood, and you're like the talk of the town. Like, you are the Asian.
You should feel very famous, I should say. Probably, like, this has put it out there. Remember that if you have any comments, contributions, questions, we will be having our guest on this particular program that has assured us that he will be here, definitely. So if you have that particular question from Mr. Tahali, kindly begin to type them through on Facebook. We will be able to read through all your comments and contributions, whatever question that you have. Remember that this is your program, and you are at free will to express how you feel, your comments, contributions. Remember to just keep it low key. Do not use abusive language or whatever it may be, but be able to express yourself in whichever manner that you like, whichever language that you'd love to use. Remember, the number that you can reach us on is 0968 675273. 0968 675273. I feel like I didn't say my name this morning. Did I?
No, you didn't, Banda Tandiwe.
Yeah, I was feeling uncomfortable. I was like, there's something I haven't said
missing,
this morning. Like, what is it?
Banda Tandiwe.
Okay, so like there's a story that was trending.
Yeah, before we just get
on
to
the
that, I
news.
think those that didn't get to watch the arrest of Dr. Chimbakambili, NDC party leader, let's just take a look at this clip, and then we continue with the conversation on the other side.
Emotions were high among the Kambwili clan Wednesday, 14th October 2020, before and after the National Democratic Congress NDC president Chishimba Kambwili was sentenced to 1 year in prison with hard labor after being convicted on 2 counts. Lusaka Principal Resident Magistrate David Simsamba in his ruling said he was satisfied with the evidence of the state prosecutors who managed to prove their case beyond a reasonable doubt. Magistrate Simsamba found Mr. Kambwili guilty on 2 counts, namely forgery and altering a false document, to which he was handed a 12 months sentence for each with hard labor. This is in a case where Kambwili was charged with 3 counts of forgery, altering a false document, and giving false information to a public officer. Mr. Kambwili, according to the court's findings, forged a no-change return, a company's Form 71, which showed that Mr. Kambwili's son, Mwamba Chishimba, signed the document, and yet it was not true. The court finds that Mr. Kambwili's actions had the intent to deceive Pakra by purporting to show that it was genuinely issued by Mwamba, when in fact not. Mr. Kambwili is also accused of having created a fictitious person in the name of Mwamba Chishimba, who was the director of Mwamona Engineering Services. But the court observed that at the time of incorporation of the company in 2001, Mwamba was only 8 years old, as he was born in 1993, and wondered how a young boy of that age would be making high-level decisions on behalf of a company. Magistrate Simsamba ruled that the accused person was behind the fictitious person called Mwamba Chishimba, and therefore found him guilty on the charge of forgery. Kambwili has however been acquitted on the charge of giving false information to a public officer. Before the commencement of judgment, Magistrate Simsamba accused Mr. Kambwili of having employed all manner of tactics to circumvent the wheels of justice. The magistrate further described Mr. Kambwili's actions and that of some of his lawyers as being ridiculous. The magistrate said during the court process, Mr. Kambwili attempted to create a situation that depicted that he was being unfairly treated. After the judgment, Mr. Kambwili's lawyer, State Counsel Musa Mwenye, in litigation, appealed to the court to hand him a non-custodial sentence owing to his lengthy health complications, such as hypertension and diabetes. But Magistrate Musamba maintained that he would hand Mr. Kambwili a punitive sentence as he has no regard for institutions of governance, neither is he a human being who shows remorse. He said this is to deter other would-be offenders. He went on to give an example of MMD President Dr. Neves Mumba, who at the time was seated in court right in front of him, that he showed leadership even after convicting him. NDC Vice President Joseph Akafumba describes the conviction as a PF scheme to silence the party.
So we take this really as a PF prosecution which should not be allowed. As I said earlier on, Musamba throughout this trial was against the accused. A judge, a magistrate must have water in the mouth, but Musamba swallowed the water and took himself into the battle arena. To us, this gives us strength in that we are operating under a terrible regime of PF. But their time will come. What they've done to CK, it will follow them also.
Currently, Mr. Kambwili is remanded at Kamwala Remand Prison, and his bail application is set for Tuesday next week. His lawyers are confident that Mr. Kambwili will be out on appeal.
An accused person or a convict, once he appeals, is entitled to bail. The offense is bailable, as the case is today. So he's entitled to bail, and the bail hearing comes up on Tuesday, and once granted bail, he will be set free like any other person who's been convicted. The offense has been convicted of today. It's a bailable offense.
Mr. Kambwili has the option of appealing his sentence to the High Court. The question now remains whether this jail sentence entails that Mr. Kambwili has been technically knocked out of the 2021 general elections or not. Kalan Muchima reporting for Camnet News in Lusaka.
Welcome back. You're still on the Rise and Thrive Breakfast Show with me, Precious Mzea, Sakaleji and Bandit Tandiwe on the other side. And we were just highlighting what has been happening in the course of 1 week. The arrest of NDC leader Dr. Chishimba Kambwili, and also Tayali being tagged as the new kid on the block. And also on the other side, the postponement of the Bill 10, not forgetting counting down to National Day of Prayer and Fasting, which falls tomorrow. So you can come through with your views and opinion on our Facebook fan page, and also feel free to actually call through. Now, joining me on set are my two guests. We'll be talking about the International Day of a Girl Child, and also on the other side we'll be talking about some charity work that has been going on in one of our communities. So now joining me, I will give an opportunity to you guys. I almost started doing yay, welcome. Good morning, welcome to the show.
Good morning, and thanks for hosting us.
Yeah, for those that don't know, you will start from this side and head to the other side. Go, Kevin, you can start.
My name is Kelvin Chasauka, Executive Director for Africa on the Ball.
Okay, Mademoiselle.
My name is Betty Ryan Makangila. I'm from Plan International.
Okay, we'll start with you, Kelvin. Tell us about your organization and what you're up to.
So basically, Africa on the Ball, it's a Zambian organization that uses the power of sport for the advancement of education, healthcare, and also enterprise, which I'll talk about later in my conversation, basically. So we believe that football or sport has got the power to bring people together, and then we use that opportunity to influence positive change to our fellow youths, and we give an opportunity to young ones to empower their fellow youths through football activities and also through positive change. However, we've been privileged enough this year to, despite the COVID-19, we've been able to do a number of activities in the community of Kalingalinga, where we've done a lot of sensitization work regarding COVID-19, and also just promoting positive change. Our recent project, obviously, it's we had to put up a water kiosk at the community grounds, and also a water borehole at Kalingalinga Basic School, which the school has suffered for a number of years. So basically, we thought water is life, and the community always comes together through football and everything. And wherever there's no water, there's always struggles here and there. And we thought of coming up with that initiative.
Oh, okay, great. Now, in your introduction or maybe explanation to what your organization is about, you mentioned something with sports and which is football.
Yeah.
Why do you think football in particular is important in the communities?
Basically, football is a unifying factor. It unifies us people from different backgrounds. You see, our communities have got different people from like different backgrounds and everything, regardless of our political affiliation, religious backgrounds and everything. And football is one factor that brings people together. And through football, we find a very common value, which is togetherness. And through that, we're able to interact and disseminate different information. Could be drug abuse, alcohol abuse, early pregnancies. And all in all, we try to promote role models amongst our young people. Yeah.
Okay, great. Now, getting to you, Becky, in the African International Day of a Girl Child. Yeah. How did it go, and what was this year's theme?
Okay, so under Plan International, our theme this year was Freedom Online. So we're just talking about girls, everyone, but particularly girls, having the opportunity to be free online, to post what you want to post and share your views and know that you won't be attacked, and also to be free of harassment, because we know a lot of girls go through different kind of harassment issues. And, you know, they post pictures and people comment anyhow, or just people sending you messages. And, you know, we realize that people don't have a way to handle this. We don't have a way to report, or anyone we can call like, oh, someone sent me these funny messages. And so what we've done is we've written an open letter to Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok, asking them to create ways to handle online harassment for us, ways that we can report online harassment and action can be taken. So that was like our way of commemorating or celebrating the International Day of the Girl Child. And I'd like to say we've made progress so far, because we've gotten a response from Instagram, and they've said they're on board and they're willing to work with us and to listen to what we have to say, and to help us design a way that we can report online abuse or online harassment. So we're waiting for feedback from Facebook and from Twitter and from Instagram. Yeah, so on the Plan International page, there's a link that we can all use to sign the open letter, just to show support. So far we have like over 50,000 signatures worldwide, and so we're making great progress, and we're glad.
Oh, okay, so talking about harassment, like social media harassment, is that in line with cyberbullying as well?
Yes, definitely. Cyberbullying, anything in those lines, anything that makes you be uncomfortable online, anything that threatens your online safety, pretty much.
Oh, okay, so is there like an organization, since this was this year's theme, is there like an organization that allowed young people to come through and say, I was actually harassed on social media, that made you guys come up with this year's theme?
I think there was research done. There was a survey done of 14,000 girls worldwide, and they were asked a number of questions about their experiences being online, and we have different statistics of a lot of them that have been affected, and their self-esteem has been broken down, and a lot of them said they receive all kinds of threats online, and you know, you never really get to hear about it because they don't know what to do about it. We begin to eventually just take it like, oh, it's normal. People just send you funny messages, you just ignore it or you just move on. And so we decided to take some kind of action, to do something about it. So yes, a survey was carried out, and we've just seen the effect that it's been having in the lives of people.
So since it was International Day of a Girl Child, I've heard you speak of girl, no complaint, she. Are you looking at the boys as well, or maybe your focus is just the female species?
Definitely, we are looking at the boys. So far we've been working under a program called Girls Get Equal. And now even when I would talk about Girls Get Equal, we say girls get equal and boys are allies. So that means we work with boys. It's not like we're trying to overthrow them or take their place or anything. We work with boys so that we can be equal. It's about us creating an environment that supports girls. And obviously you can't change an environment without the other people that are part of the environment. So we take boys as allies. We want to work with boys to make things better for us and for them. Because we realize that if you talk to most boys and men, they're not even against girls or anything like that. You know, they're our brothers and our fathers and our uncles, and they support us and they're for us. So we take boys as allies, and we're looking into whatever measures we take will be helpful even to boys as well. Because if there's a way to report abuse online, it's not only girls that will be able to use that platform, it's boys and men and everyone as well. So
okay, great. Getting to your side, Kelvin, COVID-19 hits many countries, the globe so hard. How are you surviving as an organization? And what did you do any projects amidst COVID-19, or maybe you had to put certain projects on hold because of the current situation?
Obviously, COVID has hit everyone unexpectedly. Sadly, our project basically focused on social interactions and everything. That has hit us very badly. However, we've been privileged enough through our partners from Norway and the UK, where we've managed to support girl child and obviously the boys as well. So we've over the past 6 months we've been doing a lot of community works in terms of sensitizing and also giving out like menstrual cups, just to promote the menstrual hygiene management amongst the women. We've also been doing like the mask distribution, hand wash, and all these different activities in line to promote the COVID-19 pandemic, so that people are able to are aware about it. One other project we've done is like we've done like a physical sensitization program where we've written like on a wall within our community school grounds, where people are able to see that on a daily basis. Whatever they do, they're reminded to say COVID is real, and you need to mask up, you need to keep social distance, and everything that falls in place regarding COVID-19.
Oh, okay, great. Becca, before I let you go, what are your last words?
My last words are thank you for letting me be here, and let's continue to help each other to support freedom online. Freedom for girls, freedom for women, freedom for men, freedom for boys. Do sign the open letter. Just look for Plan International, follow the link and sign the open letter. And let's make online safety available to everyone, especially with COVID-19 and how the world is going digital. We all need to be safe online.
All right, thank you. Kelvin, last words?
Thank you for hosting us. And COVID is real, and let's continue promoting positive change in our communities because the future is now.
The future is now. Yeah. Well, thank you so much, guys, for coming through. Wishing to have you soon on the other side as well on the breakfast show. Well, for those of you that have just joined us, you are still on the Rise and Thrive breakfast show, and we're just having a conversation with Becky and Kelvin on the other side. Kelvin highlighting us more on what has been happening in the community, and also Becky just giving us a heads up on what happened on International Day of a Girl Child. Now we'll continue with the conversation on the other side. Good morning.
Msika is here. We have you all covered with just 150 kwacha. You can advertise every day from 17 hours to 18 hours. For a 30-second ad, get the benefit of selling your products and services on Msika. For more details, call our marketing department on +260 953 995099 +260 962 444 726 or +260 971 177 467. Email us on info@camnettvafrica.com. Terms and conditions apply.
Well, we told you we'll be having a very special guest today on the Rise and Thrive Breakfast Show. Well, fortunate enough, the odds were on our side. So we have the president of Economic Equity Party, EEP, Chilufya.
Good morning.
Tayali.
Good morning.
It is a pleasure and honor to be seated next to the new kid on the block. That's your tag, are you aware?
A new kid on the block.
New kid on the block.
Yes, indeed. I'm the new kid on the block, and I'm here to bust out the bad guys in the political arena.
Well, you are here, Mr. Tayali, not to bust out the bad guys, the political arena, but to
bust
answer how. No. But we are here to actually bust you for taking certain things into your hands and ignoring certain political things that are currently happening and choosing to focus on a certain political party. So going down to business, remember that you're reaching us on the number 0968 675273.
Can I ask the first question?
Sure.
Why have you decided to bust out certain political party leaders now? Where were you?
Tandiwe would, at least for you, I might excuse you, but Tandiwe has known me from a long time.
Okay.
This is the Chilufya Tayali that since I came, I think my name is highly associated in fighting corruption. I have not started today. I mean, I remember as far back as, a number of people, I've scratched them. A number of people, including, I have so much respect for him. But if you remember the Rupiah Banda, Given Luvinda, there are a number of them that have really touched. So it's not today that I've started. I've been doing this from the word go.
You've been doing this for a long time.
Yes, from the word go, since I appeared on the public scene, this is what I've been doing.
Oh, okay. Ntandiwe mentioned just at the beginning to say, why are you leaving out certain things? We have got the 48 houses, which we might say might be a proceed of crime, but then you're quiet about it. We've got the fire tenders, that is a hanging situation, but then you've decided to go on the other side. Is there a reason why?
Look, the problem that we have mostly in this country, and the journalists included, is that we, for lack of a better word, are ignorant about the details of issues. We take just the headline and we run with it. If you talk about the 48 houses, as we speak, it's actually in court. People say, who is the owner of the 48 houses? There is a guy that has come in the name of, I think, Charles Loyana. He has come out and he said, these are my houses and I built them using my own resources. And if you look at Charles Loyana, yes, he's a civil servant, but really is not somebody that you would say he must have gotten money. Because he works for the Ministry of Finance. And he was employed during the time of MMD. Musokotwane was I think, the minister at that point. And I can't, of course, people have been saying, no, he's a nephew to Musokotwane and whatever. But from my point of view, there is no link that you would say that this man got the money from the treasury, and he is claiming, he's not hiding, he's in court as we speak, and his lawyer was my good friend, the late Obdekawe. I mean, so the issue of 48 houses and saying that there is no owner of the 48 houses, it is just ignorance on the part of the Zambian people, because the owner is there and it is in court, and surely if he's claiming this is my property, and when you look around from my point of view, you can't really connect the 48 houses to the treasury. So the issue of 48 houses for me is not an issue. You spoke about the fire tenders. I was the whistleblower in the fire tenders.
For how long, Mr. Tayali?
Sorry?
For how long? Was it a one-off day thing? Was it a one-month thing? For how long did you speak about it?
The 48 houses. If you go, the good thing about me is that I write. If you go on my social media page, you will see detailed issues on relating to the 48 to the fire tenders.
Okay, sorry to cut you short, but just to drift away from fire tenders and things, going down to business, which we're currently handling right now, and you have been painted to be that person who is rejoicing on the arrest. What is it really? What is your where are you driving your feelings at? How do you feel about what is particularly happening, especially the arrest, which came after you reviewed certain information to the nation? The
arrest, I'm sure, we have moved from the arrest now to conviction.
No, we haven't yet.
To conviction, and is in prison as we speak. Now, I don't understand. What do you expect me to do when a criminal has been has been sentenced to jail.
That you sued the criminal.
What do you expect me to do? When a criminal has been taken to jail, what do you expect me to do? You want me to start holding a pity party and start crying? Why did I go to court? I went to court because I wanted him to be convicted. If anything, he has been given 12 months. I would have loved more for, for the crime. Yes, actually.
Okay.
I mean, I'm praying that he appeals, because if he appeals, I'm praying that the judges at the higher court will slap him with more, because really I felt Musamba was too lenient, Okay. Bad.
Mr. Tayari, before you put more accusations, but he's not watching. Somebody is innocent until proven guilty, Mr. Tayari.
He's guilty. What more do you want?
For the other counts that you're bringing on now.
But I'm telling you,
for the other counts.
That's why my prison. There is a land you go.
Okay, before we go to other things,
COVID, he said he was sick of COVID.
But I Facebook page, no Camnet. I'm in charge. Now we have so many political leaders out there that tend to carry out and conduct themselves in a certain type of and as the youth who are now the leaders of today are keenly watching. And I should comment, I was earlier on applauding you for taking certain things into your hands and standing up as a leader. Those are good attributes of a leader, and I should point out that that is something that is remarkable in your leadership. But my question is, what then? This has happened. Do you have a checklist? Do you have who's next?
Because
I'm looking forward to more, because if you have so much information, who is next in line?
I'm telling you, I do. A number of guys, when I look at them, I'm like, who you?
Sorry, just hold on, we have a caller.
Good morning. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
Hello? Okay, we lost that caller.
Remember that you're reaching us on the number 0968-675273. You were saying?
I was saying that I have a number of people that...
But who's next? Who's next, Mr.
Who's on your to-do list? Who's next on your to-do list?
I think...
I would love you to say it on this platform so that we carry the news first.
Because why wouldn't you say it here? It's on your social media pages. You've said it on other media
No, but
houses.
my immediate focus now is HH.
Interesting.
Is my next.
But he did tell you
the politics. I'm looking at him over what he did before he even started politics. When he was engaged in privatization, I'm actually currently, actively, even last night I was going through some of the documents. I'm studying that, and I will make a decision very soon. Very soon.
But you did seem very intimidated the time you met at Parliament. You couldn't,
Mulungushi.
at Mulungushi, sorry. You couldn't really bring out yourself. He was telling you to talk about trees and... you really couldn't, Mr. Tayali, you really couldn't, you felt, when I watched that clip, I just felt you were very intimidated, because it was like, when you meet your dad and you're like this little boy. So it was like, I felt like there's this form of intimidation on your end, especially if you're vying for that presidential seat.
Look, I'm a gentleman. Even right now, you are intimidating me. The way you are talking, you're talking.
So
I'm a gentleman. I listen first. You allow the other person to talk. But Hakainde Hichilema could not even really allow me to talk. He was just there. So I was, I mean, let's face it. He's older than me. I am respectful. I was just being respectful, but so it's not really being intimidated. I mean, if I wanted, you wanted me also to start shouting on top of his big voice?
Not necessarily.
It wouldn't be good, because that's the point.
I don't feel the UPND president was speaking on top of him.
No, he was. He was.
Let's take this call, Mr. Tayali. Let's hear what the viewers have to say.
Oh, we lost that caller.
Yeah, he was. If you look at, he was, he was attacking, immediately. Mr. President, I went to Mr. President, I would like to greet you. Do you really want to greet me? Do you genuinely want to greet me?
Did you watch that clip over and over?
I do watch it over and over, and look at his demeanor and so on and so forth. I mean, he was hostile. He was hostile, and I try to be a gentleman because, I mean, when somebody is hostile, you also don't react, I mean, to what?
But
For
Mr.
what?
Tayali, the way Hakande Hichilema came out when you were having that moment, he just stood up to say, you genuinely want to greet me, and you actually gave yourself foot bumps.
Is that the right way of responding to a greeting?
COVID-19, COVID-19.
Sorry?
COVID-19, so he was probably maybe trying to take the necessary measures. And also he mentioned something to say, why is it that you always talk about me? Do you look at me as this creature? You can write about other things. When he mentions you can talk about trees. So he feels, maybe he was like that hostile because he felt you talk too much about him. Like there are other things you can talk about rather than him in particular.
We are in politics.
And
I told him that. We are in politics. What do you want me, why should I be talking about trees when we are in politics? Hakande Hichilema is every day talking politics.
We
Even
do
as
have
we
a
are
caller,
talking.
Mr. Tayali. Good morning. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
We're all right, thank you. How are you?
Please.
I'm calling from Makeni.
Please tell us your name.
Yes. Kamdala Tayali. How are you?
I'm fine.
Good to see you. Looking very good.
Thank you, especially that I'm sitting between two ladies.
Yes, I can see. Okay, I like whatever that is going on, but I want to ask, if you're really fighting for corruption, I want you to help me on this thing. You've seen a lot of corruption going on, is it? Why is it that your target is only for and Vakambwili? Why is it so much on this opposition? Why can't you even fight corruption within PF? Because I can't see you fighting corruption within PF, only opposition, which is giving me some doubts on your fighting corruption. Because I see corruption has to fight you have to in different ways, like even opposition, even the ruling party. So let people know what you are doing, because right now it's giving doubts because you're only on opposition. And that's not good, my brother, Mr. Dali. Let's fight corruption the way it is. Not fighting corruption in Ukumbi, Mlenyantira, Ukoko, Pandama Bola, you know. It's not supposed to be like that. So let's fight corruption and let people understand that you are fighting corruption politely and straightforward. That's my contribution.
Thank you so much. We didn't get your name, sir.
I'm Gavin Nyirenda.
Oh, okay. Now, thank you for coming through, Mr. Nyirenda.
All right.
Now, yes. Now, just on that one, him saying that to say you're only fighting opposition and not the ruling, you are being tagged and the accusations that you were paid by a certain political party to fight the opposition.
The problem that we have, again, it is ourselves. We have got this amnesia, you know, and we choose what to remember. Like I've said, for me, it's not today that I've started. But today, Kambwili have succeeded. He has been sentenced, and you are saying it's only Kambwili. I mean, my name, Chifa Tayali, if there is anything that I'm known for, I mean, is fighting corruption. From the word go, there are a number of people that have fought. I mean, court, for example, who is this one? Given Luvinda, he has sued me because I spoke about, what I believe this is corruption. And I'm in court right now as we speak. So there are a number of people that have touched. I'm not spared.
Do you have anyone from the ruling on your list?
Given Luvinda, I thought he is the Minister of Justice under the PF government.
Okay, but...
And recently, we had Chitotela, Chirufia. He was taken to the courts. I mean, go and check what I wrote. Go and check what I'm saying. Right now, by the way, Chirufia is a very good friend of mine.
So you are not in any way, Mr. Tayali, you are not in any way being paid by a political party. Could you confirm that on this particular program?
I wish I would be paid, because the job that I do is quite strenuous. I wish I
Because
could
we've
be
seen
paid.
a number of stories about you, we should say, where bailiffs is up to you
the
and all
point
this.
is-
None of the point, really, that I'm trying to drive at. We've seen a couple of stories, and if indeed you were paid, how then do you tackle such situations? Because on the financial aspects, if bailiffs is going to be on my case, I mean, probably I'm not financially stable.
Look, I tell you, I mean, I'm sure that's why you ran away, because I almost married you. But you ran away because I'm sure it's because of the poverty.
Just to correct that, you were saying this on a public, you almost married me?
Yeah, but you ran away, didn't you?
To where?
Didn't you run away from me?
You mean I got engaged? I found love?
Well, anyway, but the point is...
This will be talked about right here.
So what he's trying to say, is that because you're not financially stable, that's why Tandiwe
she
didn't
found
want to
somebody
marry
better
who
to
has
engage
more
her.
money than you.
Exactly. Do you see the car she drives? I can't afford to buy that car. She was even just laughing. My phone, just a pay napa. Mr. Tayari, how can you have such a phone?
Okay,
you know? So if really I was financially bankrolled by some of these guys, Tandiwe by now, you would have had two children for me.
Mr. Tayali, I think with all due respect, that will not happen. It will never be in anything to happen.
Of course. But anyway, let's get back to the point.
Yeah.
The point is, people accuse me of being sponsored by whichever group.
Maybe
remember,
you
no, let me just explain. Explain. Remember when Hakainde Hichilema was arrested over treason? I went fighting for him. I was even incarcerated for that. I was arrested. And what did the PF say? They said I've been paid by Hakainde Hichilema. But all I was doing is
fighting for justice.
I fought and I went to court I went to prison over that. You see? Then, when it comes to now, Kambwili, for example, the issue of Kambwili. This story started when Wakambwili was actually in power. I'm not holding Wakambwili accountable for what he did when he's on opposition. It was when he was in minister. He was a minister and he was taking advantage of the business in the mines. You remember him boasting to say, with the money I get from the mines, I can go to London, have a cup of tea and come back in the afternoon. It was when he was a minister, he was making so much money, cutting out others. These are the people that brought information to me.
Okay.
So I started with him when he was
we also need to get what our viewers have to say. Please tell us your name. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
I'm calling you from within Lusaka. I'm in Konde.
Konde, please go ahead with your contribution.
Yes, please. Yeah, I think I agree with Mr. Tayali. In fact, he described it very well that we have amnesia. We like to not to choose what to remember and what to forget. I was shocked. You were even asking him after he explained, after being in court with Honorable Lee, you followed with a question to say, do you have anyone who is in here? And he said, that one is an executive minister. So really, I don't know where we have the problem. It's like we have people who comment just on one episode. They just watch this thing, or they choose to forget the others. He has gone to movie TV and various forums where he has explained. He has really explained the genesis of this. Is that the gentleman who convicted? He started pursuing him when he was a foreign minister. What you want him to say? I admire his courage. Really, he puts his life at risk because he's attacking people who are very powerful. I like what you are doing. I'll keep it up. But I know most people will take you for a joker. And if you are a joker, when this case started, people are, it's not going anywhere. And there it is. Then now you are a hater. Really?
Thank you so much.
So, Are you checking your background? You're a very clean man.
Myself?
No forms of corruption? Are you sure, Mr. Tayana?
In terms of corruption, my friend, I mean, there are so many people that have bruised. They would have really loved. You know, for me, they only come up with the fabrications. Now they are talking, no, you defiled the 14-year, whatever. These are the only thing that they bring, which are actually not true.
Okay.
But in as far as, I mean, I can give you an example. For me, I'm not a person that you would come to me, and I want to take this opportunity to tell people out there, don't come to me to say, you know, let me get you a job. I refuse. Recently, they are doing this military whatever. I've got a string of people that I know in the military, including the minister himself, Vachama. He's a very good friend of mine. And a lot of people are coming to me with these papers. No, Tuafueniko. I've been refusing. Because for me, if there is employment, even here, it must be, people must be employed on merit and following the channels. So I don't cut.
So are you indirectly, sorry to just bring a twist to this story, but are you indirectly insinuating that there are certain channels that people have been able to get into the ZAF training that has been on the application?
Absolutely. I mean, each time there is this, there is so much corruption. There is so much corruption. Right now, it's about who you know. You know, you see, that's why you see a lot of police officers' children and relatives getting employed. Now there is actually a mess because in the police service, I sit down and think to say, when I'll be president, how am I going to sort out this? Because the police service is full of people from a certain region. Because of this nepotism, who is my relative, getting your relatives, and so on and so forth. And the PF also, they have come in, they are also trying to get people from a certain region. It is a mess. It is a mess.
So another thing, the caller brought out, the caller that was literally applauding you, brought out a very important comment, and he said, you're risking your life. Have you thought about that? Have you thought about your family, what this could entail?
Your wife.
Because I mean, you are literally on the edge. You know,
absolutely. Look, even this morning we were talking with my wife. I mean, in Ethiopia, we were chatting. Every day, especially my family, they are so worried about me. Every day, because like now, I mean, my wife is in Ethiopia and my other children, they're also with the mother. So I'm sort of alone. And they are very, very scared of me. Even when I'm going anywhere, you know, like now, I'm sitting here. My wife is waiting for the next text message to say, I'm home. But that is a risk that you take when you're trying to do something.
But has that hit you yet?
I mean, I know I'm at risk. I know that people are not happy with me. A lot of people are not happy with me. A lot of people would want, you know, to get a stake out of me. I know that. But look, only God protects us. For me, I'm protected by God. I don't even move with bodyguards. I don't move with bodyguards. I move alone. Why I do that? Because my safety, my protection is only in God. And people may want to harm me, but if God is protecting me, which he has done up to today, because like I'm saying, it's not today that I've started. It's not today. I remember, you know, during the time of the post, that's when I was fighting with Rupiah Band, and he was so upset with me, you know, and that he was just a former vice president. Avena Fred Membe himself, I've fought them. A number of people, I've fought them, big people, dangerous people if you like. You know, but
so since you are vying for the presidential seat in the years to come, I feel like, what do you want people to identify you as? Many people have identified you. We've seen comments of people feeling you are a joker. Why do you feel people have this tag of saying you're a joker? Because if you're going to bring out important political issues that are affecting the country at large, and you're going to go on your social media as a leader and then be goofy about it, what then? Like, where are you? Are you hot, cold? Are you a joker? Are you a serious person? Are you a leader that I'm going to say, oh, that's my... What's your stance really?
It's my strategy on how to attract the attention of the people. People in Zambia don't pay attention to serious issues.
So you go the other way.
You sort of, the way I do it is like when you have a child and you want to give that child medicine. You know, you wrap it in a sweet, you know, as they chew the sweet, but they also get, you know, the message. So this is why I tend to be, you know...
but in the process, people lose respect because you have a young person, a youth, who's looking up to you as a president.
What you do is what will show that you're actually a serious person. I may have started it like the caller said. When I started it, people thought he's a joker, he's a comedy, and whatever. And even Wakambwili, let me finish. Even Wakambwili himself, he was thinking I'm joking. But today...
Hold that thought. We have a caller. Hello, good morning. Yes, you. Who are we talking to and where are you calling us from?
Yeah, I'm calling from Shawari.
Who are we talking? Go ahead.
You see?
Corruption. We should not
There you are.
Yeah.
He's talking about the 48 houses. I'm just from explaining.
Okay, we'll leave that because you explained earlier. But I was just trying to allude one fact, Mr. Tayali. You have the youths who are the crop of the Zambian nation.
Yes.
Okay. I am watching you on your social media. Today you are talking about corruption, or this person has done this. This is happening. Okay. I'm following you keenly.
Yes.
Next thing I'm seeing you literally saying things or going back and forth, flying words with Mr. Mwewale, back and forth, disrespect. How then am I, next time again you're talking, how am I going to...
Then lunch at Mateveto, then later on I'm dancing. Exactly. Look,
I really, in my opinion, I really can't take you seriously.
You know what? The world out there is as deep as the seas, with different people, different opinions, different tastes. So some people come to my to my book just to watch what you think. This is really foolish. Some people get excited to see me dance. Okay. Some people get excited.
Like that's my president.
You know, some people.
That's gonna be his dance in State House.
Unfortunately, it's very difficult. When you're dealing with the public, it's very difficult. You can never put it highly. Unlike that you put one thing here and everybody will say, yes, this is what it is. I will give you an example. I have so much respect for my brother, Elias Chipimo. I mean, he's a very intelligent man. He had so many good ideas. But unfortunately, he was too serious for the Zambian public. And he couldn't make it.
But he had an audience.
Well, he couldn't make it. He couldn't. That's why he had to withdraw. He couldn't. He had an audience. I mean, even HH. Do you think HH has an audience as I do?
Oh, no. Mr. Tayali, come on.
Do we really have to go to the numbers?
No.
Mr. Hichilema and you, do we have to start weighing that?
I'm talking about social media. There is social media analytica. Social media analytica. Check it. It comes out every week. It is on Mwebantu. Check it. I beat HH there even now. Check it.
How about in the rural areas? How famous are you?
Exactly.
There?
That is another issue now, which
because you need to balance.
No, but of course. So these things, this journey is a long journey, and you need to do it in phases. Okay. So at the moment, I have to do with what I can. You know. What I can is social media at the moment. And I can also manage to come here. So what I can manage, I will do. But going into the rural areas, it is something that I need time. I need resources and so on and so forth.
Sorry,
HH has the resources.
To cut you short on that one. But if you are vying for the presidential seat, don't you think your target should be the rural areas and the communities?
It will
Do you think you will get the votes off social media during that time?
It's stages. At this moment, I'm doing what I can.
Are you on the ballot 2021?
I can afford to be here. But going to Shangombo, if you tell me go to Shangombo right now, I'll tell you I don't have a car. Here I came with I don't have a car now. I came with a taxi.
Do you want to review what happened?
Yeah, you offered to pay for my cab.
Yeah, because you said you didn't have money.
Yes, exactly. I mean, and this is me. You see, this is how I roll. There is a taxi waiting for me, and you're going to pay for it.
I'm sure they're not paying you enough.
Who?
The ones that are paying you.
You see, that's the point. I just struggle.
Did you manage to sell the car, the Pajero that you were selling just?
Yes, I did. I managed to sell it. I'm just
you have quite
guy.
a lot going on, Mr. Tali. Quite a lot for a person that's vying for the presidential seat. Don't you think when you finally get that seat, all these things will be coming out and you'll be tagged as the Joker president, the future to come?
Because all aspects of a president
let me tell
you.
Let me tell you a secret about life. Yeah. And allow me to say young ladies, because I mean I'm older anyway.
Oh wow!
Clearly.
Yes, exactly. So let me tell you.
See how you're flashing.
Let me tell you. You take life with ease. If you're going to be too serious with life, you will die fast. So everything, take it with a little bit of a joke, with a little bit of humor. Even when somebody upsets you, like Kedio Wankene, I didn't. I would have gone with Nech Konko and everything, but I took it lightly. And at the end of the day, boom, Ethiopian. Have you seen the wife?
Mr. Tali, before we let you go,
I would have to respond.
Time is not really on our side.
We'll let it slide, Mr.
We'll let it slide. But
I'm proudly Zambian. I'm proud to be Zambian.
You're proud
Loco
to be
is
Zambian.
laka, they say.
Yeah, what can I do if Zambians can't take me, the Tandiwes, thanks to Ethiopians?
What are your last words before what is that one thing that you want to clear out on Camnet TV before we let you go?
No, I mean, basically what I would want to say is to the Zambian people that we need to take the fight against corruption very seriously, and we need to check the kind of people that we are putting in government, because recycling, corrupt people, we will never move. We need at one point clean off our leadership and get some people that at least have got some semblance of nobility. I am not perfect either, but at least let's try to get those kind of people. We are changing very wrong people all the time, and this will not help us. For me, Chilufa Tayali, the new kid on the block, I've come for leadership cleansing.
The new big kid on the block, you mean?
Exactly.
The new big kid. You need to add big kid.
Big kid?
When you're older. A kid.
Or the new man on the block.
Yeah, you should maybe.
I should say maybe the new man on the block.
Man, maybe not.
You see how interactive I am, and I take advice. You see.
So you're cleansing.
No, I should actually commend the growth in Mr. Tayali's political journey, because I've seen him from neonatal political levels and just trying to find his feet. Now he's able to allude better and handle interviews even better. Back then it would be, oh, okay, you know what? I'm leaving. Give me the papers.
At least she's agreeing that we know we have a history.
No. A history based on professionalism and in the political field.
Mr. Tali, thank you so much for coming through on set. Are you standing this
2021? Yes, I'm going to stand. Yes.
Oh, congratulations! You're on the ballot.
I'm going to stand. 2021. I'm going to stand.
Naikwana impia.
Impia. Isha
campaign.
Isha campaign.
My campaign, you need money for campaign.
I mean, I'm sure you're marrying a rich guy. We will sort out that.
We were just having a conversation with Mr. Tali. For those
and I think we've had enough of Mr. Tali.
For those that came through via Facebook, and also the phone calls, the questions, suggestions, and the guests that came through, would love to say thank you. From me, Precious Mzea Sakaleji, and Mr. Tali.
On behalf of the whole production crew, thank you so much for coming through. Even if we literally have to pay for his cab, Precious, we should let our viewers know. But thank you so much, and
we're paying back to the community.
We can be able to call on you at any time, so that it's very important to clarify where you stand.
Exactly.
Yeah, and we wish you the best in your future endeavors.
Thank you.
As well.
Same to you. I wish you all the best.
Thank you so much, Mr. Tayali.
And you?
Thank you. From this point, we'd love to say have a beautiful morning. And don't forget to prepare yourself for National Day of Prayer and Fasting tomorrow.
I hope you're taking part.
Yes, I am.
I'm a sinner, Felicia, maybe.
I will be there. Especially when the sins are more, you need to go to God so that it cleans you up.
Because Natamuli careful, Mr. Tayali. But anyway, catch us next week, same time, same station. Camnet TV production, not just another channel.
Good morning.